All right. So, as is my want, occasionally I like to ask the players questions. I usually post them in our private chat, etc. And it's usually questions that are at least somewhat theoretical. So, like, if you're trapped on a desert island and you could only have one role playing game, what role playing game would you take? That kind of thing. And the main reason is I'm just constantly trying to gauge how well my players are enjoying whatever we're playing, like most of them said they really enjoyed L5R, but when I asked them what the one game that they would want to play the whole rest of their lives were, pretty much every one of them that answered, of course, my bro Tony, he never answers anything. That's another story. I'm going to have to get on that knucklehead and be like, look, I know you work. You're not the only person on the planet that works, but you know what? You need to be more a part of what's going on, man. There's shit going on. And then you'll come over and we'll be doing something and you're always like, what's going on here? It's like, well, you'd have known if you paid attention, right? Come on, bro. I've known you like 30 years. You should know by now. But anyway. But anyway, will anything change? No, because I even know I'm just talking to myself on this one. I mean, he's my bro. He does what he wants to do, and for whatever reason, I pretty much just deal with it because that's what you do. When you've got bros that are just out there being away, you just kind of deal with it. So, oh, So anyway, I don't know if you've ever thought about it. Like, what game would you play if you could only play one game ever? Tabletop, RPG, pen and paper RPG, whatever we're calling it these days. Um, have you ever thought about it? My players, it turns out, almost to the last, responded with AD&D or AD&D second edition. And see, that's kind of amazing because they should all know by now. I don't run second edition, never have. You know, I might have allowed the dwarf second edition dwarf book in just because my you know brother really wanted to play a berserker or whatever they were called in Forgotten Realms, which we did play Forgotten Realms, but that was just me letting one character type in because my brother really wanted to play a Bow Ranger. That's what it was. But as far as all the other second edition rules, no, we played first, and that's something sometimes even my brother forgets, and I have to be like, look, man, no, think about it. Think about the level caps and everything that were. But I mean, not that it really matters that much. It don't. But here's the thing: if all of my players really wanted to play D&D, so the next post I put out is okay, you all want to play D&D, but that could really technically include Baptism of Fire, uh, which, of course, is high on my list, Dragon Slayer, um, OSC, of course, because, I am a huge fan of Old School Essentials Advanced. You guys know that. So now we'll see if they have an answer for that or if they just wanted to play generic D&D. And if they really that's really what they want, well, me, like X, I'm going to give it to them. But no, I won't be running any AD&D second edition anytime soon. However, I would consider OSE because I love OSE. OSE Advanced is the best. As a matter of fact, if I were going to run OSE, I would probably break out their old characters. I mean, they've got characters that are like level 6 or 7 or whatever. Break out their old characters, at which point I'm thinking instead of running in my homebrew world, I'll just running World of Greyhawk using the Gazetteer, since I've got the old Gazetteers. I've got the box set too, but whatever. Just start them off in the Sheldamar Valley, since that's my favorite part of Greyhawk. And when I was a member of Living Greyhawk, I'm pretty sure one of the Uliks was where Florida was represented, because in the old Living Greyhawk, and I'm talking, 20 years ago, every state was associated with a part of Greyhawk, and Florida was in the Sheldamar Valley region. It was one of the Ulik states, whereas I think Kentucky was Keeland or Nyrond or something like that. I mean, of course, I checked it out, so you know. And that's probably what I would do. I'd probably just bust out their old characters that they had been playing a couple years ago, year ago. No, it's been a couple years, hasn't it? And just say, okay, and we would play OSE Advanced using the optional thief rules, because I'm not a huge fan of percentile thief skills and never have been. It always seemed kind of like it, and if you disagree, you're more than welcome to. But the old thief skills always seemed like they were like they should have been in a different game, I guess. Because it's like so many things in the game. Of all the things in the game, that was the thing that seemed the least like AD&D, is like, why do the thieves have these percentiles, but everything else is done by either rolling lower than an attribute or whatever? And in some cases, it would actually mean, and I'm sure the designers didn't mean this to be, but if you use the roll under an attribute to do a thing ability, there were cases where an untrained person with a high attribute in a certain place would actually have a better percentage at doing certain things, like climbing a cliff or something, than a thief would, unless you just ruled that the thief automatically could do it, since they can climb sheer surfaces. So climbing a cliff or something, that's no problem for them, right? And that would be a good way to handle it, actually. But no, it doesn't change the fact that, to me, percentile thief skills are not a good thing. So we'll see what people answer back. And I don't know. Is it time to circle back all the way around to the original AD&D slash OSE Advanced characters and do that again? I mean, is it? Could be. I mean, if that's what everybody wants to do, I'm not going to fight and argue. I mean, everybody seemed to be having a pretty good time with OS or with L5R, but I think my players would have a good time with just about anything. That's kind of the reality. And somebody's already answered, you know. But I think that's the reality. No matter what game I were to decide to run, they would just be happy to be playing a game. So, I mean, Adventure Conquer King could be on the list. I mean, a lot of things could, but if I have my way, like if I pick which version of the world's classic D&D game I'm going to run, it's probably going to be OSC, just because I like uh, the way the books are written and the stripped down rules. Right? It's like, to me, it's like the perfect blend of AD&D and basic D&D, Moldvay D&D. It's like that perfect combination of those two things, and I'm a huge fan of that. So we'll just have to see, won't we? All right. Right now, in case you're wondering, I am working on some badger suits, which I forget the creator because I am horrible like that and I need to get better. Are basically mechanized armored suits as depicted in Trench Crusade, but they are very, very, very American, you know. But they're still very steampunk, they're all riveted together and everything. If anything, they may be just a little bit bigger than the normal mech suits, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. And the good thing is the weapons are all interchangeable. So if I want to put a machine gun on one of these guys, like this kind of machine gun, like a Maxim or Vickers, it'll fit right on these guys. So, that's pretty good. And some of my new armies, I've decided, rather than where the army says that the guys can carry 2 machine guns, rather than equip them with 2 machine guns, I just equip them with 2 armored suits with machine guns. And then the BARs, I just count as automatic rifles, which pretty much New Antioch, uh, you can always have, like, I think 2 automatic rifles in a group, something like that. I mean, they just released a new playtest thing, and I'm still rooting through it to try and figure out, if there's anything that changes anything. But that's the thing. So if you could only play the one version of D&D or the one role-playing game. Now, I know my buddy Nerdy Ogre is going to say Rifts, because some people, that's just their gig, and I respect it. But my players know that they're wanting to play D&D, and that's just how it is. So it is what it is, right? Anyway, peace and love, guys, and I hope you're having a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next time.